Hello. I'm so glad to have you all here today. My name is Odurele Mojibola and you're welcome to Jibbyfemforte tutorial. Today we are going to be going on a journey of transformation of this my whole slide into a brand new one. I remember this particular pattern is right on this YouTube channel. You can check it out or ask me in the comment section and I will guide you on how to access that old slippers design. Today we're going to be using the mystery bowl to actually revamp this footwear. If you're watching for the first time, all we do is make sure we can easy and simple for you, reducing your family expenses, creating new stream of income, and reducing poverty. Sit back, and I am definitely going to be right back. All right, the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to try to remove the upper. For this particular design, my inner sole is a rubber sheet. That rubber sheet is popularly called Nora in Nigeria, plain Nora. So if I decide to say I want to separate it from the outer sole, it might end up cutting off that rubber sheet, which is called Nora. That's why I don't want to even bother about that one. But the reason I'm trying to scatter this particular upper pattern design is because in case you might want to use that same design, of your old slippers, all you need to do is just to remove it gently and place it on the new leather you want to use to replace that old one. So now I'm trying to trim off all the excess, from my upper. That's what I'm trying to do. And this will help whatever kind of insole I want to now use. Your insole is the part that your foot is stepping on, for the sake of those who are just watching my channel for the first time. So take your time to do that and we'll go into creating this insole. So the next thing we're going to be using is our EVA foam. This is popularly called Maku in Abuja part of Nigeria. I don't know what it's called in your locality, but some call it a spongy foam, in some places. But generally or popularly, or what will I say, you can check it globally, is an EVA foam. So what it does, it cushions your inner sole and make it foamy and fluffy. It depends on the type you are using. The one I'm using is 4mm thick. It's about 4mm thick, the one I'm using, and that is what I'm going to be using to replace that black rubber sheet that I had in the previous one. Now, I will not say replace because I did not cut it out. You understand? I didn't remove that black one. I just left it there because I don't want to destroy the entire sole and the inner sole. I'm just going to be placing this on it. That's what I'm going to be doing now. I can easily place it on it. So you can also do that as well at home. If you have any kind of insole like that and the inner one looks like a rubber sheet, I'm sure some of the insole that you might have on your old slippers might be the particular one that is wrapped all around. You might not be able to do the same process for that because you might have to remove that wrap one and cut this one and use it to replace it. You understand what I'm trying to say? Your own might be a total replacement. All I did was just carry the old template, the old sole, place it on that EVA foam, which is popularly called Mako, and I use it to I draw it out and I trim it out. Make sure you cut outside the line. Don't cut exactly on the line, because if you do that, it might end up being smaller than that your outer sole, especially if you are a beginner. Now I'm going to be using this synthetic leather for my inner sole. Don't forget to roughen the surface so that by the time you place the leather, it will bond perfectly well. Now if you are using a very light leather, I mean very thin leather, I would suggest you should not roughen the surface, because you see when you roughen the surface, it will be showing on the outer part. When you apply your gum on it and you place your leather, it will be looking very rough instead of looking very smooth. So get a brush to apply your contact cement adhesive. Just search for contact cement adhesive. In Nigeria, we have so many brands. We have OC we have Top Bond, we have Energy, we have V-Track. Any of them will work perfectly well, please. So I'm going to apply. I've applied on the leather and I'm also going to apply on my Mako. This is called Mako. So when you want to buy, just say I want to buy Mako 4. When you get a shoemaking store anywhere in Nigeria, tell them I want Mako 4. You understand? And they will give this to you. They sell it in pair, they sell it in sheet. You can just decide to buy a pair. A pair is going to be enough for you to create what you want to create, and you are still going to be having leftover. If you haven't actually clicked the like button, you have not subscribed, Abba, you are wrong. I'm giving too much information for you not to stay glued to this channel at every point in time. Go ahead and like this video, and please do share. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe as well. All we do here is make shoemaking easy and simple for you, and with this you can reduce your family expenses. You can create new streams of income for yourself. You can also build your self-esteem and self-worth even as you do this. Don't just build other people's dream. You can actually build your own dream while you build other people's dream as well. So we're going to allow this to dry. Now it's dry. When you touch it, you find out that you don't feel the wetness again. You don't feel that wetness of the gum again. You understand, of that adhesive. Place it, and all I'm going to do is to trim it out. After trimming, I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to position the upper. Hey, you will love that upper. It's so sweet and beautiful, I'm telling you. So when you want to do this, I need to let you know that you need two different scissors. The scissors you're going to be using to cut leather should not be used to cut anything. For the sake of those people who are just starting their shoemaking journey, make sure you have two different scissors. One will cut only leather. Please, what did I say? Repeat in the comment section. What did I say one of your scissors will cut? Go ahead into the comment section and type it now. What did I say one of your scissors should cut? Only leather. Why the second one can cut every other materials, like your insole cardboard, like your outer sheet at your house or so, when you want to cut patterns, when you want to even cut your EVO foam, which is also known as Mako here in Nigeria. So when you want to use all those ones, you use the second scissors, or that one is just like a general purpose. Now, I need you to pay attention to the part of my finger that I'm going to be using for positioning. You can see that part, and you can see the part I'm using also right here. If you use the same part, it's going to perfectly work for your mystery bowl. No matter the size you are working with, as long as it's for adults, that positioning will work very well. I use my punch plier to actually punch. You can also use that round punch hole. Now, this is my mystery bowl. I'm sure that some of us might not have seen this, but I have a video on this channel where you can actually see the full details on how I created it and all of the dimensions and how I was able to put it together. So that's what I'm going to be using here. You can see the way I position it. I had to place it on the previous one that I punched, then to see the width I need. Please ensure that you do not exceed the width. You can see, make sure you cover the first part you punch, go to the lower part and move under. Please move under. Don't cut exactly the width of that particular side, or else it might end up being too wide. So now I'm going to be using my utility knife to cut. Now let me show you a simple trick with which you can use utility knife to cut and it to be straight and fine. Now you can see that I picked the second leg and I'm just going to use it to draw the curve. I want it to be curved, because when you want to create or open the insole like this, it's always expedient that it's curved. It should form the shape of the side of your insole, and that's the reason I placed that second leg on it. So with that, I'm just going to open it like twice. I want it to be as wide as the thickness of my upper. My upper is that mystery bow pattern that I'm going to put on it. For the sake of those who are watching me for the first time, I hope you have liked this video. I am taking my time to explain this because I want you to, learn from it. And by you liking it, I want you to know that other people be able to see it and also be able to learn from it. So you can see that I did the same. I want to be able to identify, with where to cut. I believe this should help you with how to cut your inner sole, especially when you are making use of this 4mm EVA foam, popularly called Mako 4 in Abuja, Nigeria. I don't know what it's called in your own area, but trust me, shoemaking is easy and simple, especially when you have a tutor like Udruli Mojivola to put you through. I can bet it with you. You will enjoy every bit of it. Just ensure that you keep track of every process and you follow without trying to, do it your way, especially if you are not sure of the alternative way you want to use. I'm sorry this is actually out of screen, but I'm trying to work on my camera stand because it's performing different magic for me. Anyway, so I had to pick up a size 41 shoe last, understand, because I find out that size 41 shoe last work perfectly for this. It is my size. So I want to use it. But I find out that after inserting it, it was wider than what I needed, and it's because of the style of the mystery bowl. I can categorically say that. If it is a straight strap, I'm going to be using this particular shoe last. But I had to use the size 40 shoe last because I find out that that is sizing me properly. Is because of the shape of the shoe last. As you can see now, I'm just going to trim all of this off. Take your time, please, to do all of this. When you find out that it's perfectly okay. Now, I don't have shoe last, madam. What am I going to do? Madam, please use your leg. My brother, use your leg. By the time you are through and you have inserted it, put your leg and pull it and make sure that it perfectly fits your leg. If you remove it, it will not disfigure it, or it will not deform the shape, especially if it is this miserable. It will stay, it will be intact. And as long as you did not over open the space, if the space is too wide, you'll find out that it will not stay properly. But if it's not too wide, it will be perfectly okay. I just use my glue to hold it down. Please, if you are making for somebody and you are not sure, use the general purpose contact cement adhesive like OC High, like Energy, and lot more. That is what you should use. Or else, if you want to open it, it will tear everything off for you. It will tear it. I can categorically say that. It's mine, I've checked, and I know it's going to size me. That's why I'm doing that. So don't copy me if you are not sure. At least I believe you should make for yourself first before you make for somebody if you are just creating this for the first time. So you can see the beauty on the screen. Let's go ahead and see how to bottom our beautifully revamped slide. Now, before we go ahead and bottom it, I decided to actually add a cord to it. I wanted this to be a sandal, but my student convinced me that it would not be fine if I made it a sandal. So I decided to go with them and added, like a cord, to it. I just measured like 2.5 centimeter, away from the what did they call it, the mystery bowl in front, and inserted that particular cord there. So I bought this in yard, so I just bought it as an already made. So I'm going to just place it down there. This one has a tendency of removing over time, so that's why I'm going to be placing my leather on it, just to actually add and enhance it staying there. Since it's a cord, it can pull out, and I don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm trying to place the leather. In case you don't know, that is the reason. So you can also do that if you are using a rubber cord, for example. You can also do that. Now let's go back to our previous sole, and the insole I did not remove. So I'm just going to use my sandpaper to actually roughen very well. My sandpaper is about 220 grits. So that's what I'm going to be using to roughen and roughen and roughen and roughen. So when you find out that it's rough, the reason we are roughening it is just to help our insole, the one we just created, where we last the upper. We want it to bond perfectly well with it. We don't want it to be very smooth. If it's smooth, it may not bond perfectly well. So that's why we are trying to sandpaper it. So when you are through with all of that, you go ahead and then apply your contact cement adhesive. Now, I need you to know, anytime you are actually trying to bond two surfaces that has EVA foam. EVA foam is what we call Mako in Nigeria. Make sure you use the contact cement adhesive. It bonds perfectly well. So now they are dry. I'm going to place it gently. I need you to do this deliberately and gently. You can see that I am holding my inner sole with my left hand and my right hand as my outer sole, because I want to place it on it perfectly well. I don't want to make any mistake. So you begin to use your hand to follow it. You can see the front part. I am not aligning it to join. My camera stand is just showing me different things today. You can see the stand even showing. I've tried so many ways. It's just showing me different things because the part that is holding my phone is not, has actually been damaged. So I'm trying to just hang the phone right there. I don't even know where to start with that stand thing. But anyway, I got to do this and I got to teach you this. And I'm sure you are getting it. I think that's the most important thing to me. So I just, literally do this gently. Then I have to hammer. Please ensure you hammer, hit it properly well. And then we will go right into grinding the edges. Now, I need you to know that if you don't have a grinding machine, you can use that same utility knife to just trim off the excess. You understand? Don't forget that you are going to still maintain the shape of that outer sole. I mean the whole Revamp slippers. We are still making use of it. So just try to, what you want to do is you want to trim the one that we just placed on it, which is the EVA foam, that's the Mako. that we place leather on and then we put our upper. That's what we are trying to do right here. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. Ensure you give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in any of our online training program, or you're in Abuja and you would love to learn, you can definitely send us a WhatsApp message on the number on the screen. I will see you next time. Bye.